My testimony is I was born with some hearing loss that my family didn't know anything about. I learned to read lips because all my family liked to pit and all that. So I picked up on their facial and I had to read lips. Then when I went to school, I learned how to just mimic the teachers as they were teaching us how to read. And then mimic the other kids as they did what they were supposed to do in class. When it came to word problems and I had to read them, I'll be honest with you, I did not understand it. I was one of those kids that fell in between the cracks in the system. I got tested. After 5th grade, a teacher said to me right before as we were going out to the parking lot to pray, that the math that we were about to do, that I couldn't do it. So, 5th grade of mine, in my mind, it was already done. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do math anymore. At that point, I was making pretty good grades in that class. So, the teacher, when I was trying to say I need to be tested for special education. Now, legally, they only had so many days to do it. They missed those days technically. So 6th grade, I started 6th grade. And so that's when I actually did get tested for special education. I did all the tests that all the SPED students get. It could possibly be SPED students. IQ tests. I did get speech from 4th through 8th grade. But other than that, I had no other services given. Because my mom had to go to a meeting. And the people said, the staff members in there said, she's only going to be an AB student. My mom said, I can deal with that. And the principal actually smiled off and said, well, Mr. Stallins, you got good news about the doll. And she says something like, that sounds like to me you didn't have a teacher who knew what she was talking about last year. Because remind you, they missed the dates to do it. So I done speech, and in order to get in speech, you have to do a hearing test. Which I really don't know how I even got past that without getting totally clued in that I had hearing loss. No clue on how I done that. But I went through school with K through 12th, thinking my hearing was normal. Even to those after 12th grade, as a freshman and sophomore, I thought I was normal. And I ended up getting to the point in college that I was making really good grades still. But then I was going to at Madisonville Community College. So it was like small classes, and you did not have to listen to like this huge big lecture like you would at UK. Now keep in mind I done band from 6th to 8th grade in middle school, and 9th and 12th grade, and I was even section leader in high school. I also done dance here at church from 9 to, I still do it today. But I never could actually really hear anything. I couldn't really hear all the sounds that normal people heard. Like, even in my speech, like the R's and W's and the B's and D's all sounded very similar. Even as I'm talking to you, probably am getting that. I even have my hearing aids in. It wasn't until junior year, when I transferred to UK, first time that I got introduced to OVR and Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. When I transferred to the UK first time out, I transferred 2 times. First time I got introduced to Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, and they tested me for hearing loss, learning disabilities, everything that I probably hid in my academic career in K through 12th. Now, I went to a Christian school even before I went to public school. So it was a private school. They didn't do, modifying or anything like that. I just had to learn. So I was one of those that fell in the cracks. And I ended up, after all these tests, getting diagnosed with ADHD, a learning disability, as a result of my hearing loss, probably. And having mild to moderate, I think my hearing loss has gotten worse here lately, even. So I still wear my hearing aids. And I'll be honest with you, I experienced the world differently because growing up I didn't hear all the sounds. So when I first heard the sounds of my mom and dad actual voice, complete the voice, I didn't know what to say. The audiologist I went to, that they sent me to, ended up being an audiologist I had when I was younger. And he remembered me straight out. Now they took me to the ear doctor. I had 2 sets of tubes, 2 or 3 sets of tubes, ear tubes, when I was growing up, and I ended up getting scar tissue because of those surgeries. And so, with that being said, the ear infections I was having, along with the cause of me having to get those surgeries, made it worse for me to even heal. The doctor I went to did not believe in early intervention. He's dead and gone now. And the audiologist told him she needs early intervention, and the doctor didn't believe in it. So several years down the road, when I'm about in my 20s, I think, or something like that, I get diagnosed with hearing loss. I had no clue. And so when I go outside, first time getting my hearing aids, not only did OVR get my hearing aids for me, they got a FM system that just amplifies the sounds more for me to hear. And I control my hearing too at times. If there's a place that's really, really loud, I can control it and all that kind of good stuff. So I ended up getting built off as an older adult. And look at me, you wouldn't think that I had anything wrong with me. Now, I'll be honest with you. It's not been a walk in the park at all. I only have a few sounds left whenever I left speech. and it was the R's and W sounds with my hearing loss. It was just game over. I cannot. There's that shot with the R and W. Sometimes just does not come out right at all, and there's not really much I can do about that. I slow down as much as I can. If I have to think of another word to replace that word, I will. But I went through school with all these things. Now, I was in the lower reading level group in 5th grade, but that was just a modification thing. But like I said, I did not have anything. So when I got my hearing aids, I ended up getting a whole world open to me that it was totally shut off for me. I heard birds for the first time. I heard thunder. First night that I got my hearing aids, it thundered. And I said, "Mom, what's that noise?" Because I had no idea what it sounded like. And she said it was thunder. And then that was when she realized I never heard it. I never heard thunder until that point. The sounds that you hear, if you have normal hearing, is different because I miss sounds. Like a siren on any vehicle that has a siren is so high pitched I can't even hardly hear it, even from my hearing aids. So I depend on the lights usually. But I do techniques to go along with it. So I get all these accommodations because of my hearing loss and because of my reading disability. I ended up getting extra time on tests and all that kind of good stuff after the OBR visit, and then I'm still a client today to that place. And if you aren't and you have a disability and you want to work, I'm telling you, go to that place, because that place was God sent to me. If you need technology, go to them. Assistive technology. If you need anything, go to them. They do so much good work. I'm not even going to joke about that. And the people are really, really good. They even bought me interview clothes one time. They got me a alarm clock that flashes to wake me up. They got me. I was in a building that the smoke alarm, I couldn't even hear the smoke alarm in college because it was so high pitched. So, but everyone else was trying to race out of the building. I was like, what's going on? Because I had no idea. So I had to, there was like this thing that it actually connected to like a smoke alarm after I got into an apartment that I could connect to my alarm clock. And that was when I was at UK and living on my own, and I came back after my second trip to UK, dealt with a breakup. I transferred to Murray State University. I ended up, during this time, I was told in college that I didn't need to be a teacher because of my disabilities. I didn't need to be in the education system at all because of my hearing loss, because I can't say sounds right, because I had trouble reading, but then I had coping mechanisms that I learned, and it actually worked. But they still thought I didn't need to be in the education field. Along with the standardized tests, but I passed 2 of them. Now I just like 1. Praise God. Now I'm waiting for this pandemic to calm down, And so I can read people's lips while I'm taking this test because I have to get real. So I'm waiting on demasking so I can finish my tests. Whenever I went to my state, I graduated with a bachelor's. I started out with a bachelor's of elementary education. I was told I needed to change to bachelor's of integrated science with focus of education. So I done that. I gave up. Of course. What are you supposed to do when every advisor who is in college says you can't do this? What are you supposed to do, right? So I guess I could have said my dream, but I didn't. I was young, naive, and so I finished off with that degree. But I used that degree for a reason. I had to write a 50-page paper. My 50-page paper was on student with hearing loss, on a guidebook to help teachers to teach kids with hearing loss. And the ones that aren't diagnosed know the symptom, know the signs. Because I watched people's face the whole time I was growing up, and no one caught it. I wrote that, and I got 100 on it. I was at Ballard Say. We have had a group named Wings for non-adults when there was more non-adults coming out here. And I was at Ballard Say, and I had to do like an embedded introduction because it was like 50-page paper, and so it had to be like a certain length of introduction, of course, right? Mixed in with, all the technical stuff that goes along with it. So I was out here at Ballard one Saturday morning, and so I was talking about my struggles of writing this 50-page paper, of course, because when you hear you have to write a 50-page paper, I don't know about you, but the mindset is, I don't want to do it. Completely. And so when I sat, and I didn't even know what to write. But then I talked to my mom, and my mom actually sort of helped me out, try and figure out what I need to do. And so we said, I was like, she's like, just write one on student with hearing loss. You know that. And so I was like, okay, so I do. And so I got to the introduction. I was like, Mom, I don't even know how to even write this introduction. So when I come out here for Ballard Say, I was complaining about not having an introduction. God spoke to the girl, and it had to be God. And she said, write the testimony. And I was like, how can I write my testimony in this paper that's supposed to be in third person? And so she said, write it as you imagine a girl going through life, and keep in mind of everything that I wrote. It said, and I said almost the exact thing in my paper. So I write this 50-page paper, finish it, turn it in, I get 100 on it. I tell my audiologist about it. He says, bring it here so I can see it next time you come in. So next time I come in, I give it to him. He reads it right in front of me. He said, my God, girl, you know what they're talking about. He's like, do you mind if there's a audiology teacher over at another place, a community college place, and I think he would love this paper. And I said, no, go ahead. And thinking, college professors not going to be impressed with this paper at all. Okay, so I do this. And guess what? He is so impressed with that paper. He says, I'm going to do this outline for my advanced students. Just a paper. And at the end of the, I finally say, this girl was me. And I don't know about you, but if this testimony touches someone's life, it's so worth it. If you have kids and you notice that there might be some kind of signs that, that you are missing, but after hearing this, it comes out to help people. That's what this testimony is for. It's not to give me the glory, it's to give God the glory. And God put me here with this hearing loss. I'll be honest with you, with these masks, it's been a problem because I can't read lips. So now I'm depending on my mother to be my translator. Which, by the way, I'm very independent. Try to be independent, and I don't like it. But you know what? God's going to get me through this. These masks are not going to last forever. Hopefully, I am going to say that we will overcome this. And you know what? The sounds I miss, I will just hear them in heaven more intensely whenever I get them. So that's my testimony. I hope you felt something out of it. And thank you.